Hey everyone, welcome back for another video. I know it's been a long time. It's 2021, new year, new me. Let's do a new video. So let's talk about this new app, Clubhouse. I know you've seen it, whether it's on Instagram with all the Instagram stories saying, join my club. Oh my gosh, this is happening on Clubhouse. You're totally missing out. You've seen it on Facebook groups, who has a Clubhouse, please add me, or even on Twitter, who has a Clubhouse invite, I desperately want to get in. Reason why you've only heard a little bit about it but haven't seen it blown up too much is because it's still in beta test. Beta test as in, let's see how this goes. Let's see if people like it and then we'll do some improvements. What is Clubhouse? It is a drop-in audio chat app, meaning you just go into a room, you use your voice, and then you speak. How easy is that? You don't even have to worry about getting all glammed up, any makeup, what you're gonna wear. You can literally be naked, nobody would even know, and you're talking to them on these group chats of like entrepreneurship and how to make $1 million. But if you click on joinclubhouse.com, it says right here, hey, we're still in private beta, but are working hard to open things up soon, which means it's only for iOS users. And if you're an Android user, please do not click out of this video because you're gonna wanna know this information when they start opening it up for the rest of the world. So it is only for iOS users, and if you have iOS, go ahead and download it and check it out. So let's start with what is Clubhouse. Like I said, it's a drop-in audio chat. It's exactly what the name is, Clubhouse. So remember when you would go to high school or you would go to college, if you went to college, and they had clubs for like math club and English club and then PE club and then art club and what else? It's literally just like that for adults. It's a place where you feel like you can belong because they're talking about entrepreneurship, they're talking about hair, they're talking about culture, they're talking about ethnicity, they're even talking about conspiracy theories, they're even talking about mindset, they're talking about discipline, pretty much anything that you can think of. They're talking about those subjects in Clubhouse. So I'm gonna tell you a little story about how I even stumbled upon Clubhouse, the app. Now, I understand that your mind is like a magnet, okay? So before 2021, I was already feeling like I feel lonely. And I know it's an indescribable feeling, but 2020 was very hard on everyone around the world. It was hard on me specifically, my mental health, physical health, my soul. It just hurt, okay? And so I worked so hard. I got to where I am today and I'm proud of myself, but I just felt lonely and my soul felt like it was needing and looking for more. I said, I want to meet new people, but how? I was on Instagram stories and I stumbled upon my friend's Instagram story named Jennifer Genty. I was on her Instagram story and then she was raving about this app called Clubhouse, about how she's gained followers, she's met new people, the discussions and everything that's going on in this app is so real. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? So I went ahead and downloaded it and I logged in, I put in my username, and then I had to wait. And I was like, what kind of app is this where I download it, I put in my username, and then now I gotta wait? It's an invitation only club. So in order to be invited or to be let in, you have to be endorsed. Endorsed as in the person who is on Clubhouse has your phone number and they have to let you in. So I created it at night. And then the very next morning, I got a text message that said, hey, someone let you in. Go ahead and start using Clubhouse. And I was like, oh yes. So that morning, I was just on Clubhouse for like how many hours trying to figure out my bio, trying to figure out the best photo, and trying to figure out how this thing even works. And so as I'm scrolling through the interface or the inside of Clubhouse, I'm seeing rooms after rooms, and that's called a hallway. And so you're scrolling through hallways and you're deciding which room should I pop into? Now, before you pop into a room, you're going to see the main club and what is called like Women in Business, Mindset Club, or even like Instagram Network type of club. And then there's also a topic underneath the name of the club. So when I hopped onto my first club, I remember everything. I remember how I felt. I remember how scared I was. I remember what the name of the club was, and it was for entrepreneurs introducing yourself. So I hopped in and I started hearing these people talk. Like I had my headphones on, or I had my AirPods on. And I was hearing people talk. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. They're talking in real time. And I see a bunch of people's heads like display pictures because they're all in bubbles. And then I also noticed next to my photo had a celebration hat. And then I also noticed that some people at the very top who were talking had green icons next to their name. And then I later found out that those hats and those green icons meant something. So if you are a moderator, as in you are running the room, you created the room, you're running the room, and you are speaking in the room, and you are setting the tone for the room, you're managing the room, you have a green icon called the moderator. Now, if you have a celebration hat, and I'll show you what it looks like, that means you're new. That means you haven't even been on Clubhouse for 1 week. So 1 week or less. So I saw that there were a ton of people who had a celebration hat, and within that first group, I knew automatically what that meant because because the moderators were talking about. They're like, "Hey everyone, welcome. If you have a hat next to your name, this is what it means. I know this is new for everybody. Welcome to Clubhouse. This is your first time. Introduce yourself." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not the only one." I felt like I was late to the game until I found out that this is still in beta test. The next thing I noticed was there were 3 groups of speakers, followed by the speakers, and then the audience. Okay, so when you first hop on, you're in the audience automatically. Unless the person who is speaking, the moderator, follows you, you're automatically bumped up to followed by the speakers. But because I didn't know anybody, I didn't have any friends, I was in the audience, and so were a bunch of people. Okay, and the next thing I noticed was the interface of the Clubhouse app, like on my phone when I'm inside of a group. And I love how easy it is. It's not like TikTok where there's so many toggles and so many things to do, to memorize and to remember when you're creating like one piece of content. It's either you leave the room quietly, you add people, or you raise your hand because you want to say something. So more people were going ahead of me and raising their hand, and they were introducing them on the group. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. But while I was doing it, I was paying attention to what people were saying. They were talking about bio, and before I talked, I made sure my bio looked really good. And the reason why I wanted my bio to look really good, because as you're talking, people are also looking at your bio and they're determining, should I work with this person? Should I connect with this person? Should this person be my friend? And I wanted to have that. I wanted to have that experience where I can attract people who can be my friends, right? I wanted to attract my ideal client if they were sitting in the audience. I wanted the moderators to like me. I wanted the moderators to be my friend as well. And so as I was listening to the people who were coming up to speak and introducing themselves, I noticed how they were talking and within structure. Here's how the structure sounded to me. First, they would say, "Hi, my name is John Doe. I'm from blah, blah, blah. I'm new to Clubhouse. I'm so excited." And they would commend the speakers and be like, "Y'all are so awesome. Thank you for opening this group for all of us to have the chance and opportunity to speak." And then they would go into their credentials, and they were saying it in a way where they were bullet points. They're like, "I did this, and then I did that, and then I achieved this much money, and then this is what I'm doing next." And I was like, okay, I can do that. And then they kind of went into their elevator speech. Elevator speech is kind of like you work your way up. It's kind of like a climax talk. And then you kind of leave people there wanting more. At least that's how I see it, right? I heard a lot of elevator speeches, and then after they said their elevator speech, then they took it to the call to action. If you want to connect, I have a podcast. If you want to be, my guest speaker, or if you want to collaborate, head to the links in my bio. I'll follow you on Instagram, on Twitter, and LinkedIn, and then we can connect with each other. Those kind of call to actions. I was like, okay, I think that was about 30 seconds. And then after that, the moderators were like, "Woohoo, good job, man, that was amazing. Hey, everybody follow this guy, follow this girl, connect, be their friend, follow them, support them." There was this love that I was feeling, and I was like, oh my gosh, where am I? The first thing that I thought was, is this where we don't have to really chase opportunity, and where opportunity is really right here, right in front of us? Because all my life I felt like I had to just keep chasing opportunity. I had to change myself or my environment or my Instagram post or my different hashtags for opportunity to just come at my door. And at this point in time, I was like, okay, I think this is a point where I'm at opportunity. I'm talking to its face. And it's either up to me if I want to take myself out of the audience, and I want to be the speaker, and I want my voice to be heard. That's literally how it felt like. I was on my first group for a couple hours. I was so determined to speak. And I was debating whether I should forget it, leave the room. Just kidding, I don't want to raise my hand, I'm too scared. But I was like, you know what? I finally found what my mind and my soul was searching for. Here it is, here's the opportunity, I'm gonna take it. Raised my hand, waited for a couple hours. I think it was 2 hours onto this first club, and then it was finally my turn. And by that time, I think I knew what I wanted to say within my elevator speech. In my head, I'm like, it's a little rusty, but I haven't really said it yet, so I'm just gonna go ahead and wing it. Okay. So in a second, I'm gonna tell you what I said. Now, I knew that my bio was already spruced up because I knew people were gonna look at me, like all eyes are on me. There's like how many hundreds of people on this group? And so my bio had the same, my name, where I was located, and like tick marks of like my accomplishments, and then my little story, and then a call to action of my Twitter and my Instagram page. So here's how it goes. And I was so scared, I was shaking. You can hear it in my voice, but I blamed it in like that. I was like, oh, I was just in the middle of working out. And so if my voice sounds like this, I'm just tired. But in actuality, I was supposed to be working out that day, but I stopped because I was just there intently listening to these people. Like I couldn't concentrate on working out and listening because I was like, I need to learn this, right? And so I blamed the panting and the nervousness on me working out. So they called my name, which one tip is that when you are going into Clubhouse, don't do some random ass name like shorty_Pinay87 or you know, Pinay Pride. Don't do any of that, okay? That's so high school. That was actually my high school username. So don't do any of that, because on Clubhouse, they're going to address you by your username. So if they're like, hey, okay, up to the stage, welcome shorty_Pinay87@hotmail.com. Yes. So it's just gonna be awkward. You know, we're adults now, okay? Let's adult. So we're gonna be addressing each other by our names. And they're like, okay, next up is Abby Lugidao. And here's the next thing he said. They're like, wow, you've been waiting here for a couple hours. And I was like, oh my gosh, can you not say that? Like, I'm embarrassed. Like, you make me sound really desperate. And they're like, man, you have major resilience to be waiting this long. I'm sorry if the rest took too long, and we want to give you this opportunity. And I was like, oh, thank you, yeah. And then my voice is crackling. And I'm like, but you know, I was in the middle of working out, and so no, don't worry about it. I wasn't waiting that long, I was working out at the same time. And they're like, okay, cool. I see you're new to Clubhouse. You know, introduce yourself and tell us what you do and you know what you want at a Clubhouse, and see how we can help you. This is what I said on that first day, and it's only been about 2 weeks on Clubhouse. And I will remember it because I still say this today. So I said, and I took a big gulp, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I said, hey everyone, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Abby Lugidao. I'm from Seattle, Washington. I'm a mother of 3. I'm a brand designer. I also do photography, and I do websites and videography, and I teach my ideal client on how to use social media and leverage their business on social media with just their iPhone. I'm thinking about starting a podcast. And I also finished this year making 6 figures into my business within the first 2 years. But let me tell you right now, it wasn't easy. I moved to Seattle 4 years ago because I knew I was worth more than $11 an hour at my design job. And it was the same time where I got a divorce. And after the divorce, I decided to make the decision to sell everything that I had. So I packed up my twins, our small sentiments, and we drove 24 plus hours to Seattle. I remember the time and day because it was so late and I couldn't wait to get to my destination. But as soon as I saw the Seattle skylights, when I entered Seattle, I knew I was in the land of opportunity. After I was hired and fired from my dream job in Seattle, I decided to make the decision of creating my own path that made me happy and that made me feel fulfilled. So today I am the founder and creative director of Pixel Parlor, which is a full service creative agency. I would love for you to connect with me on my social media links in my bio. Let's connect, let's DM. I would love to collaborate with people because my intention going into 2021 is to build better connections with real people. So that's what I said. Oh, that's what I said. After that, I started to see flickering. So flickering on people's like heads in their display picture means that they're clapping, okay? So if you see flickering on and off, just tapping the speak, unspeak, speak, unspeak, mute, unmute, that means that they're clapping. And then the moderators were like, wow, that was amazing. Like, I felt that. I loved your story. And I just, wow. And just to see your accomplishments and read your bio, you've been doing amazing things. And they were congratulating me and they're showing me some love. Don't forget to follow Abby on social media, connect with her. And then boom, I gained like my first 15 to 20 followers within just waiting for the couple hours in that one room. Then I also saw the Instagram following grow also. Even with real people that I heard talking, I saw their display picture, I read their bio, I'm like, this is real. And so since then, I actually have been gaining in that way where I step into rooms and it's a little addicting and you can definitely spend all like 24 hours on Clubhouse if you want to. All my life, I've always been in the audience where I'm like, man, I have something to say, but I'm too scared to say it. And I finally found this app and I stumbled upon it because my mind and my soul was searching. And I'm like, man, this is an opportunity for me to step out into the audience and become the speaker, where you literally have the power to just take yourself out and be the speaker and use your voice by saying, hey, I have something to say. It's amazing practice. And if you were like me today where you're like, I'm too scared to do this, I'm too scared to talk to people, I want to meet new people, but I don't know how, I need some help, I highly suggest you get on this app. So that's my story. And I'm using these methods every single day, just getting on this app every single day during my work hours because it's now part of my, my work schedule. And I engage with people and I connect with people and I get into the groups that is within my niche where people need my help. Now I'm also getting into the routine where I'm moderating my own groups. I have one tomorrow on, social media, content creation and topics. What should I post on social media? I've met people who are actually local, who are on Clubhouse, and we connected. We're like, hey, let's moderate a group together. I know I was supposed to talk about the pros and cons in Clubhouse, but I don't have any cons really besides the fact that I don't like how you have to wait how many hours. I mean, because there's so many people now on Clubhouse, you have to jump on the ones that are popular. If you want to jump on the ones that are popular, then you have to wait a couple hours to speak. And I also don't like that when you introduce yourself, and this happens with a huge groups, which I understand because they want to get through everyone. It's like they want us to say who we are within 30 seconds and then be on their way. I'm like, I don't like that part. It's an awesome introduction to get your voice, be heard, but I wouldn't suggest to keep doing that every single day on every single room. Okay, so by day 5, I'm like, you know what? I want to take it a step further. I want to start going into smaller rooms. And so I was actually finding smaller rooms and I felt a whole lot better because my voice was lasting more than just 30 seconds. I actually felt like I was a part of the conversation. I even stumbled upon a room for Filipinos called Bahay, Kubo. All Filipinos, we talk about Filipino culture, Filipino stories, Filipino things that we had to grow up with from our parents, Filipino food, Filipino drinks, just pretty much everything Filipino. And it feels so good to be a part of this. It's like representation does matter. And it's nice to have a sense of belonging of people who look like you, who is of the same culture. It really is important. It's done amazing things for my work. The way that I think, I feel like my brain has been emotionally challenged. I don't know. It's just this weirdest thing. I feel like my brain expanded all of a sudden just by having these crazy conversations with people that I don't even know. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. Like I said, the first 2 weeks of 2021 has a little bit been indescribable, even though I've been talking for so long. It's been very exciting. I can't even wait for what else is to come for me and my family and my business and my new friends. And if at this point you're still watching, thank you so much. Give yourself a pat on the back and give this video a thumbs up. And so don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Leave me something juicy down below. Do you have any questions about some kind of videos that you want to see, or some questions you may have about Clubhouse, business design strategies? I'm your girl. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.